Hey everyone, in this video I'll break down each of Sora's abilities in Kingdom Hearts 3. Note I will only showcase Sora's abilities alone in this video and not the form change abilities. Check out BioRox's for all form change breakdowns of their abilities. This will also be a 3-part video to keep it short, just like I did my KH2 abilities breakdown. I will split each of Sora's abilities into 3 categories: action, mobility, and support. So let's first begin breaking down Sora's action abilities. Here we have Aerial Recover. It costs 2 AP and its purpose is to allow Sora to right himself whenever he is knocked airborne. Aerial Recovery is a unique ability that appeared in Kingdom Hearts 2 and made its way into some other cage games as well. Aerial Recovery can stop Sora from getting comboed, thus keeping him from getting any closer to a game over. Using Aerial Recovery in Kingdom Hearts 3 can be pretty cool until you come up against some attacks that can cancel Aerial Recover. Attacks such as wall knockbacks and body slam can cancel Aerial Recover. It is a little annoying, I will admit, but seeing that the devs changed how Sora takes damage will make the player be a little more careful about certain attacks that cancels Aerial Recover. It's still a little annoying though. Next we have Payback Strike. It costs 5 AP and its purpose is to allow Sora to right himself while also delivering a counter strike. Payback Strike is similar to Retaliating Slash from Kingdom Hearts 2. The only difference between Payback Strike are the multi-blows that Payback Strike delivers while Retaliating Slash only delivers 1 slash. Payback Strike helps to gain back control of the fight, hitting multiple enemies in Sora's path, which is great for crowd control as well. Next we have Block, aka Guard. It costs 2 AP and its purpose is to protect Sora from oncoming attacks. Or is it? Block is a pretty valuable tool in the Cage series. Guard has some different side effects throughout each Cage game. Cage 1 normal Guard, Cage 2 Guard which granted Sora invincibility frames after a successful guard, and Cage 3 Guard which had the same properties but with less iframes. Cage 3 Guard comes with some challenges though. Sora can still guard, but there will be moments Sora will face stronger attacks that can bypass his guard, which is noticeable by a red color or a blue color for your Sora only. This pushes the player to do more than just guard but learn how to react to unblockable attacks at the same time. It might be tough at first, but once you figure out how the fight works, then you should not have any problems with these fights, so stay on your guard. Here we have Counter Slash. It costs 4 AP and its purpose is to allow Sora to quickly counter after a successful guard. Counter Slash can be helpful against stunning your opponent. Counter Slash can be great for also getting in a little damage when your opponent is on the offensive side. Counter Slash has Sora quickly slash back at his enemies, allowing Sora to quickly get back into his guarding position to perform multiple counter slashes. Counter Slash works in tight situations where bosses tend to have fast-paced attacks that Sora can quickly counter with correct timing. Counter Slash has a tiny invincibility windows upon countering as well, so choose your timing correctly when using Counter Slash or face the consequences of spamming Counter Slash incorrectly. Next we have Counter Impact. It costs 4 AP and it allows Sora to counter surrounding enemies. Counter Impact helps to clear surrounding enemies around Sora with a quick spin slash, hitting multiple enemies at the same time. Counter Impact also has an invincibility window similar to Counter Slash invincibility windows. I really don't know what else I can say about Counter Impact. It's just another version of Counter Slash but with a surrounding counter to it, nothing more. Next we have Counter Kick. It costs 4 AP and it allows Sora to counter a faraway target with a sliding kick. Counter Kick works really well when it comes to countering a distant target. It does a decent amount of damage with its multi-hits that come with it. It also has a decent invincibility windows compared to Counter Slash and Counter Impact. I also noticed that Counter Kick has the same animation as Slide Dive Flow Motion and Dream Drop Distance. I enjoy using Counter Kick on this attack Xemnas does here because it will easily trigger Final Blow on that attack, while Counter Slash and Counter Impact will just stun him but not prompt Final Blow after using both counters on that attack even with perfect timing. Here we have Final Blow. It costs 5 AP and it allows Sora to move in on his opponent after a successful reprisal. Final Blow is triggered right after you manage to knock your opponent off their guard with a counter reprisal, then a second command will prompt Final Blow. Final Blow is my all-time favorite modifier in this game. It's super cool to be able to knock your opponent in the air with any reprisal counter, then follow it up with another counter. There is just something so rewarding about seeing your opponent fly up in the air after a reprisal while also getting a second counter off on your opponent. All I have to say here is, revenge is sweet. Next we have Risk Dodge. It costs 3 AP and it allows Sora to escape a guard break while also delivering a counter attack back at his opponent. Risk Dodge serves his purpose pretty well when it comes to guard break. Risk Dodge pretty much says it all, and that is dodging a risky situation before your opponent attacks again. Wrist dodge comes up right after your guard has been broken, also warning you to dodge because most Heartless and boss will have a follow-up attack after the guard break. Wrist dodge is a must-have in this game because you will be seeing a lot of attacks breaking Sora's guard, so don't be risky. Here we have Quick Slash part of 1.09 patch. It costs 3 AP and its purpose is to attack a nearby target with an upward slash. Quick Slash is a pretty neat ability that Sora has never had before. Quick Slash has a quick spin motion that ends with an upward slash. Quick Slash is almost like KH3 version of Slapshot, which I really admire more than his garbage overhead strike, which you never ever see again once you equip Quick Slash, so good riddance to that base attack. So there's not much else to say about Quick Slash except that it's quick and it slashes. Moving on. Here we have a returning 2FM ability, Flash Step. It costs 3 AP and it allows Sora to reach a distant target while keeping up his own guard. Flash Step appear only exclusive to the final mix of Kingdom Hearts 2. Flash Step allows Sora to bypass his target defense as well. KH3 Flash Step to me was their idea of a slide dash, except Flash Step was not a full-on distant attack like slide dash in KH2, but it still got the job done for what it was really used for. I think what really had me scratching my head the most was the invincibility properties Flash Step has. Why doesn't Guard have that many invincibility frames? Here are some demonstrations of Flash Step in action.
The end is nigh. There's no hope for you.
Next we have Radial Blaster, also a part of the 1.09 patch. It costs 3 AP and its purpose is to send blade projectiles to nearby enemies. Radial Blaster is a crowd control modifier that hits multiple enemies, sending out a blade projectile around Sora. Radial Blaster is okay, but what's weird about Radial Blaster is how it will come out sometimes and won't come out even if Sora is surrounded. In KH2, Round Break came out far more whenever Sora was being ambushed, not to mention Round Break actually helped to get them off Sora to breathe, while in KH3, Radial Blaster does not get them off as much, and even if it did get them off, Sora would just get hit off screen by something, so that's pretty much a lose-lose situation. Since abilities are not situational like KH2, he can use them outside of battle, and sometimes Radial Blaster will come out on a single target with the right set of combo plus on. Next up we have Aerial Sweep, which came with the 1.09 patch. It costs 2 AP and it allows Sora to launch at an airborne enemy. I actually like KH3 Aerial Sweep because it has way more range to it compared to KH1 and KH2 Aerial Sweep, but they work well for their own games. It's also neat that Aerial Sweep can come out even on a grounded foe after using Aerial Dive on a grounded foe, which is great for crowd control on a grounded foe. Try saying that 3 times fast. Aerial Sweep can also come out in midair if Sora is underneath his target. I know I said modifiers are not situational in this game, but this one gets a pass on it because I like how well it works in a crowded fight. Next we have Aerial Dive, a part of the 1.09 patch. It costs 2 AP and it launches Sora vertically at a foe below. Aerial Dive was a Final Mix exclusive modifier from Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix, which worked the opposite way, which was launching Sora at a foe above him. The rules of Aerial Dive in KH3 are different from Aerial Dive in KH2. Now instead of Sora jumping at his target, he will come at them from above. Aerial Dive can be a great way to reach a distant target. Aerial Dive is even faster than it originally was in 2FM, which makes Sora even faster than his garbage modifiers he had. Sora is starting to feel like his old KH2 self, huh? Next up we have Falling Slash. It costs 2 AP and it allows Sora to slash down on a grounded enemy from above. So what does Falling Slash even do, and what scenario does Falling Slash work on? Well, here's my theory of what Falling Slash is used for. Falling Slash to me is a way to quickly strike at a target that fell away after Sora's finisher in the air to keep the pressure on them. Falling Slash will only come out if Sora's target is fully grounded in order for Falling Slash to come out. To me, Falling Slash is not all that good, especially since we have Aerial Dive, which is faster since Falling Slash will sometimes not come out even if you're at the correct height. Here we have a finisher, Speed Slash. It costs 3 AP and it allows Sora to attack with 3 consecutive slashes. Speed Slash to me feels like a Cage 3 version of a hated Cage 2 ability called Dodge Slash, which frame traps Sora until it ends. Speed Slash has Sora do 3 slashes to nearby targets, also knocking them into the air, which is not that bad. Back before the 1.09 patch, Speed Slash was an ability that sucked for one reason, and that was for not having the ability to cancel mid combos to dodge out of the way. Since the 1.09 patch, Sora can now dodge out of any combo finisher except Blast Charge, but that ability has a reason, so I will let that slide. It is also worth pointing out that Speed Slash and Triple Rush have a negative combo side effect that comes with it no matter how many combo plus abilities you have equipped. Here we have Triple Rush, a finisher. It costs 4 AP and it allows Sora to close in on his target while he attacks. Triple Rush is a finisher that pretty much works the same as Speed Slash but closes in on his target with 3 consecutive jabs. Triple Rush has the same negative combo side effect just like Speed Slash as well. So there's not much else to say about Triple Rush because it shares the same mechanics as Speed Slash and I would just be repeating myself. Here we have another finisher, Magic Flash. It costs 5 AP and it issues out a flash of magic sending foes flying airborne. Magic Flash is an AoE finisher that hits surrounding foes around Sora while sending them flying into the air. Back in the pre-patch state, Magic Flash used to have a really small radius to it until they gave Magic Flash a bigger radius in the 1.09 patch update, which you can see has a greenish color showing the range of its radius. Magic Flash is okay, but I wish Magic Flash could stagger bigger foes instead of staggering them whenever. Here we have the final finisher, Last Charge, a part of the patch. It costs 7 AP and it unleashes a devastating blow to its target. Last Charge is a new AoE finisher that came with the free DLC patch that has Sora hit his target with a powerful finisher sending his targets flying. What's neat about Last Charge is the 2 hits that come with it, but what's even better is the fact that Last Charge hits from top to bottom almost like a mid-air explosion. Does Last Charge work well in a crowded fight? Well, it does a decent job at clearing out foes that happen to be in its path, but it's not as good as Cage 2 Explosion, but it certainly gets the job done, and I happen to enjoy Last Charge way more out of all of Sora's finishers. Here we have Rising Spiral. It costs 3 AP and it launches a foe off their feet during a combo. Rising Spiral is a ground combo modifier that lets Sora take the fight airborne, leaving them helpless. Rising Spiral is similar to Upper Slash from Cage 2, only Sora stayed grounded instead of following his target airborne. I think what sucks is the fact that even after the patch, Sora still can't use Rising Spiral in second form like in the 2017 Cage 3 trailer. What a shame. Also, Rising Spiral can extend Sora's combo passing the combo plus limit Sora has, and you can extend it further with Groundbreaker on as well. Next we have Groundbreaker. It costs 3 AP and it launches his enemy to the ground. Groundbreaker is an air modifier that lets Sora slam his enemies to the ground. It's an okay ability I guess, but I don't see much use out of this ability, especially on a humanoid boss fight because they will probably recover unless you air step to them or add in an aerial dive to the mix, then you should be good. As I mentioned before, Groundbreaker shares the same mechanic as Rising Spiral, allowing Sora to extend his combos. Here we have Focus Syphon. It costs 3 AP and it allows the user to use a special shock lock that absorbs focus from a locked on target. Focus Syphon works whenever Sora's focus gauge is at 0, allowing Sora to absorb focus from any target on the field to get focus added back to the gauge. Focus Syphon is a pretty neat ability that seems like it would be used in a broken setting, but I am just now learning about how this ability works, so what do I know? Maybe it works in a balanced setting. You can also stack more of these abilities for better results, only I was too lazy to get the third one. This segment I will be doing all in one due to them having the same mechanic. Also, they suck and they cost 3 AP. Man, that felt good to say. These team finishes allow Sora to team up with Donald and Goofy to perform a team finisher together. These finishes have the biggest issue of all, and that is how rare these finishes come out. The description below the ability says to be near your teammates in order for the finisher to activate. The problem here is that they rarely go off and they only come out by rare chance, and I can never get it to go off again after the first finisher. Whoever made these finishers should be super fired because this is by far the most inconsistent modifier in the game. These finishes take me back to Kingdom Hearts Final Mix finishes that had a 30% chance of coming out. The only difference is that they actually came out at a decent chance, while KH3 finishes only came out by rare chance and just makes these finishes not worthwhile. Trying to get these finishes to come out is almost like playing a lottery scratch off and hoping to get a winning, except the chances of getting a winning is slim to none, and that applies to these garbage finishes. Just don't equip this ability, please. Next we have Sonic Slash. It costs 2 AP and it lets the user flow motion to a distant target to do 2 consecutive slashes. It seems as I get lower on these abilities I can't seem to find out what to say about Sonic Slash. Sonic Slash will have Sora slash downward and slash upward, sending his target airborne. Personally, I hate Sonic Slash because it feels really slow and it will let your opponent escape before the attack animation, because Sonic Slash has a really slow startup that will have Sora reach all the way back to last year just to get a good swing, which will leave Sora open or ruin openings like this one here. What a crying shame. So that is all I have to say about Sonic Slash. It's slow and it gets a thumbs down. Unless anyone wants to tell me why they think Sonic Slash is good, then I am all ears. 3 more to go. Here we have Buzzsaw. It costs 3 AP and it allows the user to perform a horizontal spin attack during flow motion. Buzzsaw is by far my favorite action ability in KH3. Buzzsaw lets Sora spin around poles or spin around to create a horizontal attack that comes out whenever Sora is surrounded to hit multiple targets at the same time. Another thing I like about Buzzsaw would be that it helps to build up situation areas quickly to get form change to come up, which helps out a ton. Buzzsaw can also knock your Sora out of his track and beam attack without taking damage if your inputs are fast enough before Sora's invincibility frames wear off. Here are 3 clips of Buzzsaw taking down your Zora's tracking beam.
Got this. You on. Nice try. Got this. Gotcha. Got this. Gotcha.
Here we have Somersault. It costs 2 AP and it lets the user perform a somersault around a pole horizontal in flow motion. Somersault feels just like another Buzzsaw, to tell you the truth. The only difference with Somersault would be that it draws foes closer to Sora, allowing him to perform a Buzzsaw attack on them after. Keep in mind that you will have to have Buzzsaw enabled in order for this to work, which the description of the ability does not mention one bit. So yeah, this is just the same thing as Buzzsaw, but around the pole to gather foes, nothing special. Lastly, we have Sonic Cleave. It costs 2 AP and it allows the player to slash downward on a foe. Sonic Cleave is similar to Shot Dodge Flow Motion and Dream Drop Distance that had a huge radius that hit multiple foes around Sora, which was also the most used Flow Motion and Dream Drop Distance. So how does Sonic Cleave work in Kingdom Hearts 3? Well, it works the same as Shot Dodge, but was nerfed in KH3 to have a small radius, also making it not as broken. Sonic Cleave to me was meant for single targets judging by its radius. I really don't see myself using Sonic Cleave as much because Sora is definitely guaranteed to get hit while performing this flow motion, so I just avoid using this altogether. So that about concludes this breakdown of Sora's action abilities. Next time we will break down Sora's mobilities in part 2. Until next time, thanks for watching.